It's Monday, July 6th, and this is the Morning Booster. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a brand new month of the Morning Booster, and along with a new month comes a new set to open. So for this month, we're going to be doing Core 2021. After going back and forth a little bit between looking at older booster boxes and the newest release, I decided to stick with the newest release for now, as the channel is still new and we're still kind of developing the content. One of the things you'll notice too is that the Morning Booster has moved over to its own channel now. So there'll be some cross promotion between the Unstable Dice and the Morning Booster, but ultimately all the Magic content is going to make its way over to this channel going forward, just to keep the two topics separate, because they really are separate fan bases, and I just felt it was better for everybody that they had a dedicated channel to what they like. So when it comes to Core 2021, one of the things that I really like to do when a new set comes out is start with the pre-release pack. One of the things that I like as a collector is that the pre-release pack does a couple things. One, it gives you a nice taste of the new release. You get 6 boosters with a nice diversity of cards in there. I do get the impression that the boosters that come out of the pre-release packs are actually better than the standard boosters, but that's just my impression. I have nothing to support that statistically or from any kind of articles, but it really does seem like you get better pulls out of the pre-release packs than you do in the standard boosters out of a booster box. One of the other things that I like also about the pre-release pack is that you get the rare or mythic with the date stamp. I like having those. I think it's just a little cool memento of the release. So it's definitely something that I enjoy. I also like getting the dice that comes with it, which is handy when Z and I are playing now, because we frankly need each to have 2 dice because we're going over 20 health with some of the cards we're playing. So that's always a plus as well. You also get the nice little carrying box out of the pre-release when you're getting started. So what I'll typically now do going forward is that the pre-release box will be where I keep the cards I'm actually playing within, and everything that I'm collecting will go into the binders and the dedicated collector's boxes. So this is just a nice way for me to say, okay, whatever in this box is actually a playable card or a card I'm playing with, versus everything else which is purely for my collection. So when we look at the Core 2021 pre-release, you don't really get a lot of information. So if you're brand new to Magic, you don't necessarily know what to expect inside. Obviously, your friendly local gaming store is probably going to fill you in, or if you're getting one of these, you're already kind of in the know on what it's about. But still, it's kind of interesting when you compare it to some of the other products that there's really not a lot of explanation that goes into what is in the box, which is good and a bad thing. Example being Z, this was his first pre-release pack to check out, and he was very curious, and he didn't quite understand, well, why would I buy this versus just buying boosters? Because this was $25 MSRP, and where we pick up our packs is $3. So it's $25 versus $24 for 8 booster packs. So what's the trade-off? And it's kind of explaining to him, you get the rare mythic, you get the dice, you get the box. So it's about the packaging and some of the little bonus things that you can get that you don't necessarily get when you just buy straight-up boosters from your friendly local gaming store. As I just mentioned, I did get this from Paper or Plastic in Shorewood, Illinois. Great family-run store. He does the pre-release packs so that if you're not playing like myself, you can still pre-order them and pick them up when they get released, which is a nice bonus for somebody that's just purely into collecting mostly. I find how kind of funny how I said that. But anyways, tangent, let's stay on focus. So let's crack this boy open. We're going to take a look at it today. So for the rest of this week, what I'm going to do is we're going to open this up, check out the contents inside of it. We're going to open up 1 or 2 booster packs, depends on my mood. And then the rest of the boosters we're going to open up across the week. Like we've been doing with Ikoria, we're going to do the same with Core 2021. Monday through Thursday, I'll be opening up 1 pack. On Fridays, we'll be doing double boosters or collector boosters. Since there's a little bit more pricey, I am going to collect a few of those just to see what we get out of them. But I'm not going to do too many of them because, frankly, at $25 a pop, it's not really a product that appeals to me. I'd rather just pick up the base sets, the basic cards, and enjoy it that way like I always have. All right, so we're going to go ahead here. Just going to show you what's in there as we open it up. So on the back, you just get the symbol. And all I'm doing right now is I'm a little bit weird when it comes to opening these things. I just don't like tearing them. So find a spot that's kind of where the plastic's not shrink wrapped perfectly. And we're going to remove it. Oops. All right, so there we go. And like I said, the nice thing about this right out of the gate is you get this little box right here, which is awesome for putting the cards you're going to play with in. We're going to put this aside. There's nothing else really to it. It's just the cover, slip cover, if you will. And we can open this up here, and we get a bunch of this different stuff inside. First off, like I said, you get the dice. So we'll put this guy here so that it actually stays in focus. So there's our die. Each of these dies has a nice little, for the 20 side, it has the symbol or something reflective of the symbol for that set. So, for example, with Ikoria, we had the Ikoria symbol. Here we have M21, which is the same symbol. Again, at this point, playing again, I quickly realized you need 2 of these because if you're playing any kind of cards that give you life, you can go over, especially early in the game, you can go over 20. It's just easier than trying to throw pips or something else out there. So that's one of the things I really like about the fact that for each of these pre-releases, you get a dice. Again, the target audience is really the folks that are going to play that pre-release weekend, so they need the dice because it's kind of just walk in and play with what you've got in the box. But as a collector, I find it kind of cool as well. And I do look back. I don't know if there's a market for these or not, the dice, but I do have quite a few of them across all of the sets since they've been doing it, so it's nice to have those as well as part of the collection. All right, so the big thing here, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, is that you get, as part of the pre-release, a single rare or mythic that is date stamped. So we're going to take a look, see what we got here. And we got Stormwing Entity as a foil. So that is sweet. Now, this card does not have much value. As far as I'm aware, it's not one of the big cards out of the set like Teferi or Grim Tutor, but it's still a cool card to see. Again, the nice thing about these is that it's date stamped. In particular, I like this one because it was the weekend of my anniversary, so it's a nice little card to have as a memento of that special occasion as well. But this is what you get with a pre-release, is one of these cards, which is very, very cool. So we'll put that one aside for the moment here. And now we're going to go ahead. You get, as part of it, you also get 6 boosters. You get a product code for Arena, which I've not tried. And then you get this little handy packet. You also get a card divider, which is useful when you want to separate, say, the cards you're playing with versus other cards that are just part of what you got out of the pre-release pack. So we're going to put this aside here. There's nothing else in there that you can see. I mean, there's some coverings where the dice went in that, but again, it's really just to hold the cards you're playing with. So this we can put aside as well. I think that's pretty obvious what it's used for. So we've got this. We're going to go ahead and put that over there for a moment. So this little insert goes through the life and times of Teferi, which is pretty cool. So we kind of find out that he was born in Dominaria, and where he was expelled from Urza's Tellurian Academy, and then it just kind of goes from there. So as we can see, like I said, one of the big high points for me with this character is that he participated in the War of the Spark. I can't rave enough about that book. There is a sequel. I haven't picked it up. I'm hoping to pick it up soon and do a review on it. But I gotta say that I really like the character and I really like the story behind him, and especially in the War of the Spark. Now this here is awesome. Why I think this is awesome is because I'm able to give this to Z, and it helps Z build decks without me having to hover over him. And it's not that I don't want to help him, but it gives him the opportunity to kind of get away from Dad and check things out and kind of figure out what he wants to do in terms of his deck. So these are some nice guidelines in terms of building a 40 card where it tells you the number of creatures, number of other spells, and the amount of land you should have in there. So it's a nice little tool for the pre-release, and it's a nice little tool for people getting started as well. Again, once you've been playing for a while, you kind of know the ins and outs and roughly how many creatures versus spells versus land you should have in your deck. But when you're getting started, this is a great tool to help with that. So I do appreciate that Wizards does this. And like I said, we get our little code here. We're just going to take that and put that away over there. And we're going to move these guys over here. And what we can see here is that we have all of our different planeswalkers. So we've got 2 boosters with each a different planeswalker on them. It'd probably help if I actually centered these. So I think for today, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to jump in and do these 2. So we're going to open up 2 boosters today. So let's go ahead and we'll move that one over there for now. And let's open our first booster. How about that? All right, so for our first core 2021 booster pack, we start with a Sepperling token card. Beautiful card, love it. Love it. All right, Jungle Hollow. So this is a land. It is a common. It's tapped for, comes into the battlefield tapped, but when you play it, you get a 1 life. Again, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier with it's good to have 2 sets of dice because early on, if you play these cards, you're going to go over 20. But this one here provides either a black or green mana. Fantastic for when I'm playing with Ikoria right now. Now, I don't know, before we switch over to the next card, is whether or not these guys are like the Ikoria packs where the next card will be the rare or mythic. It seems like that's going to be the case, but we're going to find out right here. So for our first core 2021 booster, I end up with, Chandra's Incinerator. So this is the rare card, and this is an elemental creature. Pretty high casting cost. Let's see, I don't see anything particularly exciting about it. I don't know the value of it, so I'll have to look that up. If you're watching the video, you'll see that value right now, according to MTG Goldfish. But it is an okay card from an art standpoint. As me as a collector, this is probably one of those that I've talked about in the past that I'll only remember it because it's a rare. If it was a common, I probably would forget about it 2 booster packs down the road. So, is what it is. Glad to see that's our first rare out of the set. We'll put that aside there. And we've got our uncommons. So Unleash Fury, Watch of the Spheres. Now that I like the artwork on. Now it's an uncommon, so it's not really going to have much value to it, but it is a beautiful card in my opinion. All right, Burl Fist Oak. Very cool. Okay. Roman Ghostlight. Dub. Swift Response. Ornery Dilophosaur. Sanguinian Indulgence. Garrick's Gorehorn. Thrill of Possibility. Cancel. Keep feeling like I'm grabbing more. Valorous Steed, which is a unicorn. Man, high casting cost though. And then here's one of our elemental dogs. So we were talking with Kay, my daughter, and since Z has been doing this now, Kay is interested. We're going to put together a cat deck. So one of the things that, so I'm going through every morning the Core 2021s. If you have suggestions on what cards to put into a cat-themed deck using Core 2021, please put that down in the comments below. Don't really have a sense yet of what's the cat cards look like. I was paying more attention, honestly, to the dogs. So now I'm trying to figure out what we can do with the cat cards. All right, and that is it. So there's our first Core 2021 booster pack. So why don't we go ahead and we're going to put these guys aside for the moment. And let's crack open booster pack number 2. All right, so for booster pack number 2, we're going to start with Mistral Singer. So it's a Siren Blue, Flying Prowess. I don't want to be spoiled. Ooh, Shock. So this is a good one. It's 1 red mana. It is deals 2 damage to any target. I like those kind of cards. Infernal Scarring. Sabertooth Mauler. Deathbloom Thallid. Titanic Growth. Not as good as Colossification, which came out of Ikoria, which made your creature a +20/+20, but +4/+4 for the end of the turn is pretty good. Alright, Rambunctious Mutt. It's a fun little card. Great artwork, has a lot of character, really drives home the cat-dog theme of Core 2021. I don't know if this particular card is very playable, but I love the artwork for it. Burn Bright. Keen Glide Master. Ooh, so now we're getting in our tokens there. Oh, Make sure I'm not grabbing anything. So there's our token. So the Goblin Wizard. I'm very interested. I have not gone through and looked at all of the cards in Core 2021. I kind of enjoy opening up the boosters and getting surprised by them. Obviously, some of the bigger ones that we're all aware of, like the Planeswalker and that, are obviously already on my radar. But the other rares and mythics, not so much. So I'm curious to see where the Goblin Wizard token comes from. But that is a great looking token card. Very cool. So that means we should next have our land. Alright, so it's just a basic swamp. Nothing too exciting there. But our next one should be our rare or mythic. So for our second booster in Core 2021, I get... Ooh, that's a shiny Twin Blade Assassin. So that means we haven't gotten our rare or mythic yet. So this one's uncommon. So the Twin Blade Assassin, 1 black, 1 green, 3 colorless. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, draw a card. Okay. But that means, so for second booster pack of the day, I get Azuas Lost But Seeking. So this is a Champions of Kamigawa card, if I recall correctly. So it's a reprint of that one. This is one of the cards that is on people's radar right now. So it's awesome to see that I've pulled this one. So the local friendly gaming store, Paper or Plastic, is doing a contest this week. So for every $10 of cards you trade in, you get a raffle ticket for a chance to win a booster box or some other prizes of Core 2021. This card has some value to it, so that is most likely going to go into the trade lottery. Since I haven't established yet my goals for the set, I'm going to use this card as part of that just to get some raffle tickets because they'll support the store, and I might win something cool. So we've got that. Put that one aside. Cultivate's another one. From my understanding, it's a pretty hot card right now. Hot being relative since it is an uncommon, but I'm glad to see that I've gotten another one of these. And then we've got Reign of Revelation. And Heartfire Emulator. Alright, so our Beckham booster was actually a pretty good pool. We ended up with one decent card, I think, and one fantastic rare out of the two. So definitely I'm not going to complain when we get things started. But with that, if you have any comments, questions, feedbacks, or suggestions regarding the morning booster or this video, please leave them down below. Better yet, if you enjoy what I'm doing, hit that like button. A like is motivation for me to continue on doing this, so definitely appreciate them when they happen. But otherwise, and as always, thanks for watching. Till next time, everybody.